What do you hear? What do you say?
What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel and to Lucky Punch. Today we got my card of the year, my card overview and picks for UFC 322. This is going to be a banger taking place this Saturday. You will not want to miss this. Kicking off the main card is a banger matchup between Dariush
This says I look like the Shah of Iran.
and Benoit Saint-Denis. Both men have had streaks of success and streaks of failure, but neither has broken the threshold of being in the middle of the rankings. Dariush was once on an 8-fight win streak before being dominated by Oliveira and Arman Tsarukyan. BSD was once a terrifying prospect before being mutilated by Poirier and Moicano.
Just when I thought I was out, they pulled me back in.
However, he brought me back in. Although Moicano lost to Dariush and brutalized BSD, MMA math is not applicable.
Remember when is the lowest form of conversation.
You can't just go back to remember when. I do believe that Saint-Denis is the god of war that he claims to be. He's a powerful striker who throws with malicious intent. His frame allows him to be powerful in the clinch and striking when in range. He sometimes puts too much power into his shots, which allows him to be countered easily, like when he fought Poirier. Against a talented grappler like Moicano, he had no answer of his position and unrelenting ground and pound. However, against Rufy, he showed his IQ and underrated grappling ability on the ground.
All I know is you never had the makings of a varsity athlete.
Dariush just can't do it. He's 36 and his best is behind him, but a close win against Moicano shows he still has some left in the tank. Dariush has power, good striking IQ, but his athletic limitations really showed in his last few fights. He was sloppy on his back foot against Moicano, and a better striker like BSD will punish him in his already cracked chin. Saint-Denis will pressure Dariush and land an early combination knockout that will slump Dariush and finish the fight by KO. And now another great welterweight fight, Leon Rocky Edwards vs. Carlos the Nightmare Prates, and this fight is likely Leon's last chance for the top 5 at welterweight. Leon was an above average point fighter who built a name for himself with a beautiful last second head kick to end Usman's run as the champion.
There he is, the king of breadsticks.
Get the fuck out of my store!
At least that's what he thinks. Yes, the Usman knockout was legendary, but Leon built a false bravado in all of his recent fights. Since Leon won the belt, he fights at an unusually slow pace over 5 rounds. He beat Prime Usman again, dominated Covington before being embarrassed and giving up to Bilal in similar fashion.
I'm just another victim of Benny Fazio criminal mastermind. That's right.
Leon is just another victim of Bilal Muhammad fighting mastermind. Bilal made Leon give up in the octagon in his own title fight. The pattern continued in the Sean Brady fight where Leon was outclassed before a horrific takedown attempt that sealed his fate. Unlike Leon, Prates is on an upward trajectory. After 4 straight knockouts in his first 4 UFC fights, Prates had a very competitive fight where he had Ian Gary crawling to safety. Leon's mindset will hold him back against a hungry Prates. Signs point toward Leon finally raising his pace for a 3-rounder, but I think Prates will mentally break him with a hard liver shot or hook early that will keep him on his back foot. Leon has the skills to fight on his back foot, but Prates will keep the pressure on and will throw fast combos ending with hooks through Leon's guard. Don't forget, even Nate Diaz wobbled Leon. Prates can do the same or much worse. Gary will be a much harder test for Prates, and Leon will suffer his first career knockout loss in the later rounds when Prates backs him up against the cage and finishes it with Leon covering up on the canvas. Sean Brady and Michael Morales have both skyrocketed to the top of the welterweight rankings. Both are incredible prospects that have shown their potential through dominant fights against names like Leon Edwards and Gilbert Burns. Brady is a Philly native with an impressive grappling pedigree, including wins against names like Craig Jones. Brady is well-rounded and has shown flashes of power, but he isn't a knockout artist and his striking is still missing something. Even guys like Bilal managed to knock out Brady, which really surprised me at the time. Morales is a talented striker with heavy hands who will no doubt plan to pick apart Brady when he's out of range.
Vito? What the fuck?
Sal, hey.
Fuck you doing?
Nothing. I was here. It's a joke.
Brady absolutely dominated Leon Edwards, who may be washed, and is great at holding fighters down.
You want compromise? How's this? 20 years in the can.
He needs to compromise, and Morales will knock him out if he decides to stand, but shouldn't just rely on holding Morales against the mat. Morales has never lost a fight and will have the confidence to take on Brady in any part of the game with how as athletic he is and strong. Gilbert Burns has no chance on the feet against Morales, and he might even challenge Brady's grappling. Morales can get aggressive, reckless even against Brady, and if he can hurt him once, land one heavy shot, he can keep the pressure on and TKO Brady with strikes as he covers up and takes his O.
He discovered America is what he did. He was a brave Italian explorer, and in this house, Christopher Columbus is a hero. End of story.
In this house, Zhang Weili is a hero. Zhang Weili has been the light of a bad strawweight division for a long time and is finally moving up to take on the Bullet. Her dominating run is underrated in the grand scheme of the UFC, and her leaving is effectively killing all excitement at strawweight. However, Weili is a hero for moving up and taking on Shevchenko in one of the biggest, most talented women's fights in a long time. The current version of Weili seems nearly untouchable, but remember, Rose beat her twice in a row, including a beautiful head kick.
Satanic black magic. Sick shit.
Weili has won her last 5 fights and has dominated every round on the ground and on the feet. Shevchenko will be her hardest fight in years. Both fighters have Muay Thai style backgrounds with fast, twitchy kicks and powerful striking. Shevchenko has been just as dominant as Weili with 14 UFC wins and comes in as the slight favorite, but I don't think her recent performances have been as impressive as the past. She beat Fiorot in a boring decision and tied Grasso 1-1-1 in a trilogy. Shevchenko is 37 and still looks to be in her peak, but may have peaked over 5 years ago and is slowly declining, which says a lot about her recent performances. Weili has looked much more dominant in recent years and will continue that. She's done a lot more damage.
B, she hit me.
And B, she hit her. Weili might not have enough to finish the Bullet, but she will definitely hit her and get the job done by decision to take the belt.
All due respect, you got no fucking idea what it's like to be number one. Every decision you make affects every facet of every other fucking thing. It's too much to deal with almost.
Islam Makhachev hasn't lost a fight since 2015. He's been the #1 fighter for as long as he can remember. In 2015, a fluke knockout from Adriano Martins somehow was the last time Islam lost a fight.
Your brother Billy, whatever happened there,
All right then.
Whatever happened there?
the shooting.
Whatever happened there?
God rest his soul, man.
He's been at the top of the sport for nearly a decade and has faced only the best of the best. Volk, Charles, Poirier, Moicano, and King Bobby Green. When you put it like that, it's not as impressive, but Islam is the boogeyman of the division, or formerly of the division. He's now at 170, and he's the strong, silent type.
Whatever happened to Gary Cooper? The strong, silent type.
He was gay, Gary Cooper?
No! Are you listening to me?
Anyway, he lets his grappling, dominant style speak for itself. He's finished nearly everyone put in front of him, and he looks stronger by the day, even developing strong Darce chokes and putting on considerable size to fight at 170. This is the first time at 170 since he ducked Ilya and is taking on a huge challenge from JDM. Most guys he fought were former featherweights. Now JDM is absolutely massive. Remember that Islam usually weighs 185, 190, and is used to being much bigger and much stronger, which allows his style to succeed. When he fought someone like Volk, who gave him a war in their first fight, that was the exact case. 155 to 170 is a massive step up, maybe the biggest in the UFC. He won't be able to rely on pure size to beat JDM, who is naturally bigger than him. Craig Jones believes he has the answer to the Dagestani dominance, and having Jones and Volk in JDM's camp means he should be prepared for Islam, which is a tough task on its own. Volk and Jones are almost like father figures for JDM and his camp.
My father. My father. My father. No, my father was my father.
JDM is a top 3 boxer in the UFC, and his boxing and surprisingly good takedown defense neutralized Bilal completely in a close fight when he took the belt. JDM is so fast and incredibly creative with his striking that it's dangerous to be even in range with him. Ask Bilal. When you watch a boxer like JDM actively set up combos to hit the body, head, you realize how underdeveloped some strikers truly are, even at the UFC level. Islam's striking is mainly successful because of his takedown threat. His actual striking leaves much to be desired. Islam was once the boogeyman in the UFC, and nobody had a chance to beat him. Volk did come real close. JDM is a good 5 inches taller than Volk, and has clever elbows and uppercuts in the clinch. Islam is still at the top of the sport, but his last fight at a top performance was probably against Volk, which was 2 years ago now. Poirier had glimmers of success on the feet and is a whole lot slower than JDM is and will be on Saturday. This is the fight where Islam may not look as untouchable as we thought he was before. JDM will land a lot on Islam's takedowns, and he may even defend some takedowns. He is such an active striker that any takedown that gets stuffed will mean Islam taking a lot of damage from elbows and uppercuts. A few years ago, I thought Islam would never be beat, kind of like Khabib, but I am taking my third straight underdog JDM at plus 220 to upset Islam and make history.
You know, Quasimodo predicted all this.
And now for my Quasimodo predictions. We're going to start off at the bottom of the main card, Beneil Dariush versus Benoit Saint-Denis. I'm taking Benoit Saint-Denis by KO over Dariush. And then Leon Edwards versus Carlos Prates. I'm taking the favorite Carlos Prates to KO Leon for the first time in his career. And then my first underdog of the night, I'm taking Michael Morales to beat Sean Brady, also by KO. I think it's going to be a crazy card, a ton of finishes. And Morales will finish Brady and be the first one to finish him. And then the co-main event, I'm taking Zhang Weili over Shevchenko to take the belt by decision. It's going to be a great fight with a ton of blood though, but she just won't be able to finish her. And yes, I'm taking Della Maddalena versus Islam Makhachev to defend his belt by KO in the third or fourth rounds. I think he's going to gas out Islam. Islam is going to get so frustrated. Every time he goes for a takedown, he's going to get an elbow or an uppercut right to the face. He's going to get bloody, and he will get tired. I think JDM can do it. And then his non-stop boxing will finish Islam Makhachev.
Create a little dysentery among the ranks?
Susurkayev is creating dysentery among the UFC rankings. He has stormed into the UFC. He fights multiple times a week. He makes a name for himself. He takes damage. He deals damage. Although Tom Nolan gave him a battle, I was very impressed by Susurkayev in both of his fights, and I think he will continue his dominating run at 170 to create dysentery in the welterweight rankings.
You're not gonna believe this. He killed 16 Czechoslovakians. Guy was an interior decorator. His house looked like shit.
Islam and his Dagestanis have been like Chechen rebels to the UFC, running through their rankings. Their camp has been one of the highest win percentages in the UFC, and they are straight killers that strike fear into their opponents. Can JDM be the first one to knock out Islam fighting for the belt? Islam vs. JDM is the end of the journey. The series finale to Islam's run at lightweight and JDM's first title defense at 170 against Islam. All these stakes are on the line. If Islam loses, does he stay at 170? Does he drop down, move up, retire? Who knows? Maybe Ilya's next. This fight has huge implications, especially for JDM to make a run at 170. My official